Hi guys, and welcome back. As promised, this is the brow tutorial. So before starting the brow tutorial, I wanted to talk about some product. Now you can definitely use your conventional pencils, you can use brow powders, you can use gels if you just want to change up the coloring in your brow just a little bit. But there is now a pomade as well. That's just going to give you a little bit more out of your product. It's going to give you a little bit more structure. If you want something that's going to be super, super defined, that'll definitely give you that result. Today, however, I'm going to go ahead and use just our Brow with Pencil from Anastasia, and I'm also going to use her brow powders as well. That's just my personal preference. I just really like the way they wear, and the application is fairly simple as well. So as you can see, I've already done one eye or one eyebrow. So I'm just going to go ahead and mimic that on the other side there. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my Brow with Pencil, and I'm going to go ahead and just fill the bottom portion of my eyebrow. So just going in and just really outlining that bottom portion of my brow, just to give my eyebrow a little bit more structure. You want to make sure that you're outlining, or that when you're lining your brow, it's a straight line from the inside corner to your arch. You don't want to have any kind of curvature or any curve right in this area here, because then they start looking like spermies, and we don't want to do that. We don't want sperm eyebrows. Okay, so that said, I'm gonna go ahead and just really define that top portion of my brow. So going in from that top inside corner and just again feathering very lightly up into that top portion of my brow, and again just still keeping that really nice straight line from that outside, or from that inside corner, excuse me, all the way to that arch line. And once you get to that arch, right in this area, right through here, we're going to go ahead and turn it and going downward into the tail end of your brow. So that way you have a really nice structure happening right on that outside corner of your arch. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just try to do the exact same thing in that front portion of my brow. Just give it really nice structure, since everything else is having some pretty good structure going on already. So right just like that. So now this is where my powder is going to come in. It's going to just soften out the look just a little bit more, and it's also just going to fill in a little bit more of those holes. So before we add our powder in, I'm going to go in with a slight spoolie like this guy, and I'm just going to go in and really blend my brow out, and just really blending those pencil marks and blending all that out so that there's no hard lines, because again, we still want a little bit more of a natural look, but just a little bit more structured, not too intense. So now that we have that, I'm going to go in with a little bit of my brow powder. So I'm going to go ahead and use something that's going to be slightly lighter. So if I lift my palette up here really quickly, I'm using this lighter kind of taupey color for my front portion of my brow here. And I'm just going to go in and just starting from where we started that pencil and going in and feathering out. Just using a tiny little bit more. I always try not to use too much or apply or get too much on my brush, excuse me. Just always use this tiny little bit as possible and just blend or just build your coloring a little bit more. If I do have a little bit of a hole, like right in this area here, I'll go in with a color that's slightly darker, just almost like the same color as my brow, to go in and fill in those areas so that it doesn't look super drawn in, or like again you have a big huge hole in that portion of your brow. So just like that. And then just using that same product that's on that brush, pulling down towards that end. So not just to give me a little bit more structure, I'm going to go ahead and grab my brush, put it straight up and down, and I'm going to go ahead and just really emphasize and give that inside corner a good application of that shadow there. Since we have a little bit of a hole, I'm going to go in with just a little bit of that darker brow powder and really working that through. Now, if you feel like you need a little bit more texture and it's a little bit too powdery, it's a little too filled in, you can just go back with your pencil and add little feathering strokes with your pencil, just like that. So now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and use my spoolie just one more time. And I'm just going to run that through my whole brow just to get everything blended through and have no hard edges. Just have that really nice natural look to my brow. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed that brow tutorial. Please feel free to comment underneath. Please also feel free to like and subscribe. I definitely appreciate you guys. And stay tuned because there's more to come. Adios! Goodbye.